Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Carrie and this is Booked for Romance. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I am so excited today, guys. I'm so excited because we are going to talk about one of my favorite authors, Mariana Zapata. And I am just so excited to dig into this of where would you start reading if you wanted to read Mariana Zapata. She is the slow burn queen. We all know this. We know that it builds that angst up. It's amazing. I love her. I cannot wait to dig into her of telling you what you should read first. Now, I want to give a big shout out for this video to Nicki from Nicki and Bookland, because this video was really, I was chatting with her like, what should I do? I want to do a Mariana Zapata ranking video, and she gave me the idea for this video. So big thank you to Nicki for that. I will eventually do a rankings video of all her books. Unfortunately, I have not read her newest one yet, When Grace Met the Grump, that came out this year. It just dropped. And then also I want to read All Roads Lead Here in audio. So there's a couple ones I want to read before I end up doing that rankings video. I know there's a couple good rankings videos out there right now that rank all her books from least to favorite. I also want to give a shout out to Jessica from Peace Love Books. We all know who she is because she introduced me to Mariana Zapata. So she introduced me to my very first book. And then it was love at first book. So I literally read my first one and I just took off from there. So thank you to her for introducing me to one of my favorite authors. Now, let's get into it. Where to start with Mariana Zapata? Now, I'm the type of person where I don't want to start off with like the things that are the best, like the best writing they ever done. I never want to start there, but also I don't want to start off with the things that were just okay. I like to start right in the middle, like the things that were good, but they weren't the best. So I think I'm going to head you in that direction. Now, with something that you guys might not know about Mariana Zapata, who is our slow burn queen, mind you. She is the slow burn queen. So if you're expecting a lot of spice, it does happen, but it always happens at the end of her books. So just be prepared for that. There's a lot of angst. There's a lot of slow burn. She has earned the title of slow burn queen. Now, with that being said, what Mariana Zapata is really good for is she puts Easter eggs in all her books. So a lot of times, like you'll read about a couple and they'll kind of like slide in there in another book. So that's why I think this video is really good, because I'm going to start you in books that don't really have those Easter eggs yet till later in other books. So yes, with that being said, let me start by talking about some of her books. Okay, where I would start. Now, this is just a personal opinion. Everybody and every booktuber is going to have probably a different place to start, but there's probably two. There's two books I would probably start with. And the first one I'm going to recommend is Under Locke. I really did enjoy this book so much. You have my guy Dex, you have my girl Iris. Okay, so it pretty much starts out as Iris shows up to her brother Sunny's house and she needs a job. And here's the thing, her brother ends up getting her a job with his, I would say like MC person, because he's in like a motorcycle club. And he ends up getting her a job with his MC brother, Dex. And Dex is like the biggest jerk to her. It is just like right off the bat, you just feel so bad for Iris. She can't get a job anywhere else, so she's kind of stuck. So you have this whole enemies to lovers type situation. It's really good. If you like possessive hero, sunshine heroine, this is for you. I absolutely love Under Locke. So yeah, so this is probably one I would start with because it kind of gives the foundation of like what Mariana Zapata is all about. I really did like the angst in this so much. It's just so cute. And if you like kind of like an it's a little bit of an MC romance. I mean, it's definitely in there, but not as much as others. But yes, this is an MC romance for sure. Another one I would definitely start off with. I feel like this video is going to be so long, guys. Sorry, because I could gush about each one of these books so much. Another one I would start off with is Luna and the Lie. I'm going to put it right here. And then this is another thing too. I feel like this video is going to be scattered everywhere. I listened to all of Mariana Zapata in audiobook. So that's why I don't have a lot of physical copies for her. So just keep that in mind. I feel like Mariana Zapata is really good with audio. Like if you like audio or wanted to give audiobook a try, she is the best person to do it with because I feel like the characters really come out and her dialogue really comes out in audio. So I wanted to throw that out there for you guys because I tended to read some of her books and I favored the ones that I read in audio more so than I read physically. Just throwing that out there. But let's get back to Luna and the Lie. So this is Luna and the Lie right here. So you start off with our girl Luna and she works for our hero Rip. And you learn really quickly that Luna is running from something from her past. And they don't really tell you what it is. And it just kind of develops of what you're starting to figure out. She's working in the shop. He's definitely a grumpy hero. Something that Mariana Zapata does best is writes a good grumpy hero. She does that so well. But what's great about Luna and the Lie, you pretty much figure out that Luna lied for our main hero, Rip. So there's something that he feels like he has to pay her back for because of something she covered up for him. So that's pretty much the premise of the book. But I thought it was really cute. It was really well done. I really loved the audio. That's why I stuck that in here right now. I think it's a great place to start because you kind of get like that whole MC vibe, which if you're coming off of Under Locke, you can go straight into Luna and the Lie. I feel like they correlate a little bit, but I really like that as well. Another one I would recommend to start off with is also All Roads Lead Here. Thank you for I got this special edition sent by my good friend Kat. She's a Cup of Tea book blog. I'll put that link down below. Thank you so much for my special edition. This is so awesome. This is why you have good book friends. So they can send, if they don't love the special edition or whatever, you can pass it on to someone who's going to cherish it forever. But this is a really good one. I really liked All Roads Lead Here. The only difference is I did read this physically. I will be reading it in audio. So there was things I was not the biggest fan of for certain things, like a certain nickname. I think in the heroine kept being called Buddy. But other than that, I know a lot of people love this one. It was really highly recommended. Just to give you the premise of All Roads Lead Here. Because I have to do a reread of this one, I'm just going to tell you what I kind of remember from this book. It's a little fuzzy for me, so I have to be honest. So you pretty much, it's a small town romance, like small mountain town romance. You have her main hero, Aurora, and she's running away from something in her past. So she drives to the small mountain town, and then she meets our grumpy hero, single dad, Rhodes. And then it's kind of like they create their relationship from there. Obviously things are happening in the past and she's running from something. That's pretty much like the premise of the book. But unfortunately, I think it was, I don't know, it's a good amount where it's like they don't even interact. But yeah, he's kind of helping her out, living where she is. It's really a cute romance. I really did enjoy it. So yeah, that's another one I would definitely start out with. And then we're going to get into the more like popular ones by Mariana Zapata. I feel like now's the time to kind of transition. I also want to give an honorable mention before I do that. because the three I just mentioned don't really correlate to any of the other ones. The ones I'm going to start mentioning are going to start correlating to the next one. I also want to throw out an honorable mention to Dear Erin. Dear Erin is a really good one. I did like this one. A lot of people said it was kind of slow because the first half of the book, they're kind of correlating through letters. She is a pen pal and he is a Marine, and that's kind of how they meet. It's kind of like that sponsorship where you get assigned a pen pal, so you kind of get to write people back from the States if you have no one to write to. So a lot of the times they are correlating through pen pal. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really cute. So yeah, so it's angsty. Her first time having like a pen pal, it didn't end so well. So she's kind of like standoffish with her main hero. So I really did like Dear Erin. Something you need to know about Dear Erin though. Dear Erin, the main heroine is Ruby. And Ruby and Erin, you will see later in other books. So this is why I feel like you should read kind of in the beginning, because then you'll kind of get what I mean about the angst and about the slow burn, because it is really slow burn. And then you get the payoff at the end. I really did like this one. And then you also get to see another couple in there. If there's anybody ice skating in this book, you need to just remember who is ice skating in this book, because then you will see them later. So I'm very excited about that. Dear Erin was a favorite of mine because I do like any sort of military, Marine, Army, SEALs type of romance. I think they're cute, they're fun, and I do love that a lot. Okay, moving on. I'm sorry, I'm like, MZ is my favorite. I'm so excited about this. Okay, so I have to decide. I think at this point, because I'm reading through all her other ones right now. Oh, and then another honorable mention is Lingus. Lingus is a good time to kind of throw that in right now too. Lingus would be the one where he is a porn star and she's a teacher. So I think Lingus would be a lot of fun. It is a read that doesn't really correlate with anything, but I loved it. They met at a porn star convention. She is actually a teacher. She's going in and actually going to meet another kind of older porn star. And then she ends up talking to our main hero, and she doesn't know he's a porn star. They just kind of hit it off. And then when she figures it out, it's really cute. The whole premise of that book, Lingus, is amazing. I really did like Lingus. You could definitely start there before Dear Erin. Like I would almost do like Under Locke, Luna and the Lie, then Lingus, and then go into Dear Erin. I think that's pretty much how I would play that. Then after Dear Erin, I would go straight into From Luke Off with Love. Like literally, I just would, just because her sister is Jasmine, and we have Jasmine and Lukov. Oh my gosh, these people, you guys, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Read the order I told you to, then go straight into this book. Because this book, okay, think cutting edge. Think enemies to lovers. Think all the best things you can think of when it comes to ice skating, okay? You have our main girl, Jasmine, and she's at kind of like the end. She's at the end of her skating career. She feels like nobody wants to partner with her. She pretty much is at the end of like debating if she should start coaching. And then we have Lukov. And Lukov has always tormented our poor Jasmine. And it just is the best enemies to lovers that you could possibly talk about. I could talk about this book all day. Like literally, it's one of those moments where you can talk about it all day and I have no qualms about it. Like it is so good. I mean, if anything, if you don't read one thing from Mariana Zapata, read this, okay? If you have to go to the best, this is 5 stars. This is the best. But then you'll also see Ruby and Erin in this too. So that's what's great is it does correlate because it goes together. So yeah, so then I would definitely read that next. And then I would go into, I would read Kulti after that. And I know some people might not agree with me, but I just loved Kulti. You have age gap, you have coach, You have soccer player. You have my girl Sal, who's freaking awesome. I mean, honestly, I have a whole new appreciation for this book after my daughter started playing soccer. Like, I love Kulti so much for the fact, actually, I'm like, I don't have a physical copy of Kulti yet. I'm hoping to get one this year. Kulti's great because you have my girl Sal, and she is on a professional soccer team. And she has loved Kulti all her life. She has loved him as a player. She's loved him as a person. She has just loved him forever. Well, believe it or not, Kulti ends up coaching her team. She ends up coaching her team, and she figures out Kulti is not the person he used to be. Like, it's just an enemies to lovers type thing. I feel like the angst in this is amazing. He just ends up starting out being like, I want nothing to do with anybody on this team. I just don't want to be here. It just gives you that type of vibes. And then you figure out things later down in the book, and it's just so good. And if you like a good age gap, this is for you. Like, honestly, it's just so great. I mean, everything about this book really slow burn, screams all the feels. It screams all the feels. So yeah, if you love a good soccer romance or any sort of sports romance, this is for you. Stop what you're doing. Pick this up. Mariana Zapata really does sports romances top notch. Like, I think out of my 3 favorites, they're all the sports romances, which is really funny because it just is. So, okay. So the next one, no one's going to be shocked that this is on here. The next one is my baby. It's my everything. It's The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. This is the one I read that Jessica from Peace Love Books recommended to me, and this was my everything. Oh my gosh, guys, this book right here. Okay, you start off with my girl Van, and she works for Aiden. She works as his assistant. But unfortunately for her, she wants to kind of go and start her own company because she's like, I want to not always be an assistant. I want to start being a graphic designer. So she tells Aiden, like, listen, like, I'll work for you for as long as I can, but eventually I want to go do my own thing. Unfortunately for Aiden, she hears his manager and him, or his manager mostly, saying some really mean things about her. So she ups and she's like, I'm out of here. I quit. So she ends up quitting. But at the end of the day, this turns into a marriage of convenience. So that's all I'm going to leave you with. I can't tell you the rest because it is too good. Slow burn to the extreme. One of my favorites when I do my rankings video, you will see where this goes. But yeah, this is the absolute best by Mariana Zapata. I absolutely loved it. It is so good. I really did enjoy this a lot. So put this definitely in the middle of your reads for Mariana Zapata. And then with Callie Dalton, she did that audiobook so much justice. Like, if you want to go read it, she's the only one narrating it, but I loved it. I loved how she did the narration to that. I think the last one I would recommend, and this is not like her best, but it kind of falls in the upper for me, and it's Wait For It. And the reason why I'm putting this one here is because multiple people show up in this book. So that's why I kind of put it towards the end, because you're going to see Van and Aiden. You're going to see Kulti and Sal. Okay, one thing I forgot I'm adding this in after the fact because I'm editing this right now. One person I forgot to mention that you also see in Wait For It is Sunny. And Sunny is Iris's brother in Under Locke. So you'll see Sunny. Sunny is Dallas's best friend. So you'll also see Sunny from Under Locke too. So I feel like Wait For It has like an array of characters that just kind of show up. So yeah. Sorry, adding this totally after the fact. I remembered it and I'm like, oh, I've got to add this in there. So like, this is why I put this kind of towards the end, because Wait For It, you have Diana and you have Dallas. And Diana, I think, is good friends with Van, but she's also cousins with Sal. So that's why you're seeing all these people in these books and they're all kind of interconnected. what I can say about Wait For It. Wait For It is pretty much a single parent romance. She inherits her two brothers' children after he ends up passing away from being a police officer, and Dallas is her next door neighbor. And he's the baseball coach and the boys are on his team. It's really cute. It's more of a like cutesy type romance. It's not as hard hitting as like I'd say Kulti or The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, but it's still fun. I loved it. I love seeing my old characters in there, so I love that one as well. And then you have other ones by her. When I do my rankings video, I will do my rankings video as like least favorites to my favorites. There's not a book that I was like, oh, this was terrible, but there were some that I did like better than others. I also want to let you guys know too, hands down, which was not my favorite out of everything, is you have Texas. I like to call him Pink Texas because that's what he was known in The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, but Van and Aiden roomed with him. So this is hands down not my favorite out of everything she's written. But yeah, so this is kind of the roommate. It's another football romance. Let me get you kind of the premise of it. Okay, so you have Zach as our main hero and Bianca as a main heroine, and they knew each other from before. So I don't think I would call this a second chance romance, but they definitely knew each other before, and then she ends up walking back into his life. He's struggling with football right now. He's not really sure which way to go. He's been injured and he's trying to get back into the game. So she comes in at this time and they kind of spark this friendship, and then they kind of figure out what happened back when they were younger. So, I mean, that's kind of what Hands Down is about. Zach was one of my favorite characters in The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, so it's definitely good that you know these books do connect, but you don't really see, I mean, you see Van and Aiden in here, but not as much as I would have liked. So anyway, but yeah, if that's where you guys were going with MZ, that's probably where I'd start. That's how some of them interconnect. If I did miss anything, please let me know. I am not an expert to MZ, but I'd like to think that I've read enough of her stuff to tell you guys where you should start, what you should be looking out for, maybe what you should want to read, what you shouldn't want to read. I didn't mention everything by her. I mentioned a lot by her, but I did not mention everything. I am going to do a ranking video of all her books that I like least to what I like best. But yeah, I just absolutely adore Mariana Zapata, and I hope you guys love her as much as I did. Please go in there knowing it is slow burn, because if you go in there expecting a bunch of spice at the beginning, it is not. But I tell you what, the payoff is worth the wait. I don't say that for a lot of slow burn, but she is the slow burn queen, and she has earned that title. Anyway, thank you guys for watching my channel. Thank you for letting me gush about Mariana Zapata, and thank you for watching. If you like my video, like and subscribe. If you have any comments about Mariana Zapata, put them in the thoughts below. And yeah, I hope you guys love her as much as I do, and happy reading. Bye guys.